do another day, another vlog, another hot girl Gohola. It's your boy Darwin. I'm back with another video, another banger for you guys today. So today I'm just having a simple vlog for you guys. I'll be washing my dad's car. It's not like the other video which was more planned, but this one is just a vlog. I'll give you some of the behind the scenes of this video. So if you're new to this channel, do mind subscribing, like and sharing. We are on the road to 500. Hi, post. Brief history about this car. Actually, when my dad had bought the other car that I think I've shown you in many of my videos, he just bought it, and then when he was coming back at home, it was very rainy, and as you can see, it was very slammed. So when he was coming back and it was very muddy, so the car got broken into, it was stolen. So that car has been sitting in the garage for almost 3 years now, and it's been there for a very long time. But now he went ahead and bought this one that is his daily. Basically it's daily, and it's the car that has been doing most of the work around here at home. So I'll be washing it, giving it a very good tune. Right now, as you have seen, it's very dusty, but right now let me just get into the vlog parts. Peace. Shh.
Stop.
Nataka kujifunza kuendesha gari. Ati? Nini? Sasa mimi nenda kuvlogia. Maji ni mbali. Shuka sasa. Yes? So right now I'm about to start washing the car. Let me just show you the interior. That's how the car looked inside. In here, that is how the car was looking. Very dusty, very dirty, very muddy, as you can see. But I'm about to transform this car into a very clean car. So right now, just stay tuned for the vlog. Right now I am almost done with the washing the car. I've completely done with this part. Right now I'm about to head out with the front part, and then I will get back into the video. So yeah, so let's just do this. Title of the thumbnail, you might have seen what we're going to talk about on this video today. So today we're going to talk about 5 things I love and hate about this car. This car is my dad's daily. Like I said earlier, my dad's original daily was stolen into, it was beat up. Now he bought this one that he's been using for the past few months right now. So we're going to talk about it a few in this video. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe for more content like this one. Peace. About this car, it's because this car is a manual, man. I mean, this car has a 5-speed manual. It is a 5-speed manual that not many cars out here are manual, so that's why I love it. And most cars out here are coming out automatic, and I with the manuals, I also choose this one in the Mercedes. I choose this one because this one shifts much better. The RPM on these things are just immaculate, and that is why I love this car. It's because it's manual and how it shifts. What I love about this car is how the car looks. The car, now beware that this car is almost 30 years old and more. This thing, I think it's a 1984 model, but how this car shifts and how this car is in immaculate condition is one of the things that makes me fall in love with this Japanese car right here. Is it Japanese? Not really Japanese. Peugeot is a UK brand, and I must say that they did a very, very good thing making this car. This car, it looks awesome. Yeah, the paint is immaculate, and like I always say, how you keep your car and how you drive your car is going to determine how long your car is going to last. So that's why I love this car. The paint looks awesome, the car looks awesome, even the frame. I think you can see the frame here. It's like this car is newer. If I was to compare this one and other cars, like this one, this car is just immaculate, and that is why I've loved this car since I first saw it. It's a Peugeot. Now most people don't know about these cars. These cars only came in UK and Africa, and those who employed them in other places were able to get this. But this one is a very, very rare spec. If you look at the car note that came with the MSRP, this thing was very, very immaculate, and that is why I love this car. That I'll have to talk about in this video has to be the engine. Now this car, as you can see right now, it is almost 50 years old, but this is the original engine that came with the car since it came down the factory line. It's a 4-cylinder engine, 1.8 liter, and this thing has like an immense amount of power. Guys, I have driven this car, and trust me, this car drives like a supercar. The chassis is still correct, the engine shifts better, the transmission is just on its perfect, though it has gone through some minor changes here and there, as you expect from a 50-year-old car. But trust me, this is the original head, the original radiator from 1980 something, and trust me, the only thing that my dad did to this car when it was first gotten was maybe the head gasket was blown. As you can see, it can't have that head gasket the same years as from those back years. But the engine of this car is just immaculate. I love this car. Like I can't tell you how much love I have for this one. And as you can see, these taillights are not the taillights, these front lights are just iconic. You don't see this car more often, and that is why I'm going to talk about the third reason as to why I love about this car. Reason number 3 why I love this car is how the front end looks. Trust me, this thing looks very masculine. If I compare this car with maybe the Ford Mustang, the Chevy SS, the Chevelle, the Balea, when they came out, when this car was produced, trust me guys, those others were muscle cars, yes, but I think this was the ultimate UK, the Peugeot, like I say, something like the Peugeot muscle car at that era. But trust me, when the Jaguar FX came out, this has to be the second best looking car. I have to say that this has to be the second, basing on how like the back in the days, this one looks very awesome. If I can compare with the BMW, what they produced back then compared to this one, this has to be the best looking front end back in those days. And trust me, with the paint and some good chrome finish, yes, it is not in the best perfect condition yet, but trust me, this car, it looks awesome. Okay, the front end looks awesome. Number 4 and also why I love this car is the drivability of this car. This car is very fuel efficient. The car is from back then, and my dad never complains nothing about, you know, the fuel. He can put here, like, let's say $8 or $10, and he can drive this thing for a whole freaking week. And that is why this car has to be the best fuel efficient car. Now remember, it's a 4-cylinder engine, and I can expect that, but trust me, if a car like this looks this new and drives as it drives, and it gives you that MPG, that awesome MPG, I'll have to take this. It's a win, okay? It's a win-win for all of us, the driver, the mechanability of the car, and also the drivability of the car still goes into this car. And yeah, like I say, this car is just a beauty, you know what I'm saying? It's just a beauty. Like, I'll give 1,000 reasons to why, but I'll just name a few on why I love more about this. As to why I love the fifth is on the things on the list that I have love for this car is how compatible this car was when it was made. It was a 4-seater, unlike the other cars which were made for, they were coupe, but you could choose either this one or the pickup truck that had came out that period of time. But this one had a lot of space. I think I can fit a bunch of holes in this bitch, okay? This thing looks awesome. This thing, I love this car. It can fit the driver, you know, the passenger here, and we have some 3 other people, 3 fat people that I'm talking about, okay? And that is why this car, in the period that we are in right now, this car is a win. This car is a W. This car takes every W, okay? So yeah, stay tuned for the hits on part 2, or maybe I just put them in this video. Yeah, I think I just put them in this video up there. Remember, everything that has good also needs to have faults in them, okay? And this car is actually the flag bearer when it comes to faults, and that is why I'll make this video on the things that I hate about this car. Trust me, this car, as much as I love it, there are some things that they just don't seem right to it, and let me talk about them in this. Remember, I love the front end of this car, but the rear end of this car looks horrible. I don't know who designed or who even came up with this idea of making these taillights look like a child literally designed this car. They are very ugly. I don't like them. I just don't. Maybe if you do some LEDs and stuff like that, the car might look awesome. But as for me, this was not a good choice coming up when they designed this car. The front end looks nice, but the rear end, bro, like, look at this. Like, this drop is something that I've really hated. It looks like it's bro, like, what? That's something that I really hate about this car. That's one. If maybe if this was mine, maybe in the future I'll have to get mine in the future. Maybe I'll just come up with this line up here and then do some touches on the LEDs, make a custom like LED light, tail light that can fit that part. But the rear end looks very I don't like it. I just don't like it. Reason number 2 on why I hate about this car, whatever you wanna call it, it has to be the interior of this car. Trust me, this interior was as basic as your girlfriend. This interior looks bad. The interior looks like it was designed by children. I don't know, like it was drawn by children back in the day. But trust me, those children should be caned or prosecuted or something. The interior was so basic. It just had some mere 1s and 2s here and there. But trust me, the AC in this car works, which is weird. The AC works, and yeah, the interior was basic. The interior was so basic that it was so basic, as you have seen in the video. The interior was very basic. If I was to do some changes, I would have, but that would be just a lot of money, and I just don't want to spend much money on a car like this one. And yeah, much as we love the fuel efficiency, we'll have to talk about how the engine is, okay? Now, number 4 on why I had this car is how this engine is just stupid, okay? It's a 4-cylinder engine, less power, is just it's less powered, and no one wants a less powered car. But I can't really complain when it comes from a 1984 engine model car engine or whatever. This car with its age, the Ford Mustang were even having 400 horsepower V8s at that time. You know, the Boss, the Ford Mustang Boss, the Shelby's had more power compared to this one. This one is very underpowered, and I just don't like that about it. But it has some weirdly high amount of torque in the rear wheel, so it's a rear wheel drive. and it has some absurd amount of torque at the back. This thing carried almost a ton of tiles that was constructing this house, and it handled pretty well on that hill, and I was quite surprised on how it really climbed that hill. So as much as it is less powered, it is strong in some weird point. That is a UK engineering that they have to, you know what I'm saying, literally have to explain that engineering on how they made this car have that insane amount of torque. Maybe it's the at the power band it's different, but hey, you know, we can't complain when you have this amazing piece. Semaje baba? Yes? Amwezi nimalizia. Nataka nilale njaa.